Of course, the Cricket Cranes is a team who will continue to follow, like we did tell you. In 10 days' time, they get to leave for Zimbabwe, where they will be taking in another qualifier, that is for the T20 World Cup. But I want us to change subjects, much as we are still discussing cricket. And of course, in a few minutes from now, Janet Mbabazi will be joining us. She's a member of the Victoria Pulse, fresh from Kigali, Rwanda, where they did lead the Victoria Pulse to third in the Kwibuka tournament, but she stayed back and did play in that elite league, where she was voted the best bowler, best batsman. Are they batsmen or bats ladies?
Yeah, batsman.
And she was also the MVP of the tournament. First of all, she is also the reigning female cricket player of the year by the Ghana Sports Press Association. How good is this girl, Shaban?
I think the people who have been close to her and who have been following her closely in the last couple of years, he will tell you they anticipated she would be the next big thing in women cricket in the next few years. And then she's living up to expectations. For me, I'm not surprised with the performances she has been putting up, especially for the national team. And she
not forgetting the Nepal series where she was also the MVP.
Definitely. And when we went to Nepal, remember we were coming off a battering in Namibia, and people were thinking that probably we were going to go to Nepal, who are ranked ahead of us, and we would lose. But then she led the team, and they put up a decent performance. They won the series, and then coming back, then the pressure was on again because we had defeated Nepal, who are ranked above us, and we are going into the Kwibuka tournament, where we thought that we had it in us to win our third title in the competition. But somehow they didn't live up to the expectations. Somehow.
Brazil like we must take
Germany, Brazil. Of course, we had everything to beat up on them, and luckily we did. But then the stiff challenges were always going to come against Kenya and Tanzania. And when we folded, I was like probably coming back down to earth. And for me, it has been a decent outing for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's going to have the opportunity to talk to us and tell us more about her career. But I think the consistency shows you the kind of player that she's been. When you look at the outings that the team has had in the last few years, and the last few outings, I think she's been the highlight in almost all the outings that they've had, and it goes back to what we've been talking about before, that the team needs to play more cricket. I thought the ladies were not playing a lot of cricket. It's very good to see that they are getting the exposure now. They are playing in tournaments almost every other month, and it's huge for Ugandan women's cricket. And it's good to have her. I don't think we made a mistake as Yuspa to make her player of the year at the last award.
Looks like she's going to make it 2 in a row.
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm just anticipating.
When you look at what she's doing, you would, I think she's favourite to make it 2 in a row. So I think it's huge for her. And the most important thing is consistency. If she can do it for some good time, because we do not want to hear next year that now she cannot even make the team. So I think those are the things that she'll be telling us when she gets.
Of course, as Janet gets to join us, Shabana, Mbabazi does insist on the word consistency, because that has been the biggest challenge of Ugandan athletes.
I think that has been a huge challenge for us, but the fact that now they are ensuring, especially if I take an example of the Cricket Association, they are ensuring that these people, both the women and both the ladies and the men, are competitive month in and month out. Probably we can attain the consistency that we require, and then maybe the teams will start putting up the results that we expect them to put out. Because in the past, they could have an outing in January, and then you wait for probably November for the next outing, which is not ideal for you. But kudos to the Cricket Association, and I will never stop giving them their flowers, because they deserve them. One of the most organized associations in Uganda, and hopefully the others can pick a leaf from them.
Well, of course, joining us on set is Janet Mbabazi. I have so many questions. The first question I want to ask, first of all, is for you to tell us your story, but I also want to know your Soroti connection, because Mbabazi and Soroti, I don't see that connection there. Maybe we'll start with your Soroti connection before you tell us your story.
Well, my story started in Soroti.
Oh,
so.
Okay. So what's your story?
My mom is from Soroti, and my dad was originally from Rwanda. But I was born and raised in Uganda.
In Soroti?
In Soroti.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's where your cricket journey starts from?
Yes. I started playing in primary school, and went ahead and played in high school in Junior SS. That's where, you know, I feel like my actual journey started, because I got to meet a lot of friends there who, you know, helped me walk in this journey with me. A lot of them are still on the team. So, yeah.
Well, one would say the other year was great for you. You get to be voted a female cricket player of the year, but looks like 2022 is even going to be a better year. It is just June, we're getting into July, you have a host of other 6 months to go, but you're already writing headlines. One would ask, what makes Janet Mbabazi tick?
For me, I'm just happy that I'm having a lot of playing time, and I think it's the same thing for all the players, as long as you have a lot of playing time, because with more games you get to learn and improve your game. And I think for me that has been it. And obviously the players, my teammates, I have like a very good support system back at home and also in the team. So I think that has been helping me a lot with my performance.
I think the first question I will ask you, because cricket is not one of those sports that usually get headlines in Uganda. And if I may know, what inspired you to play it?
My sisters.
Oh, they are cricketers.
When I was little, they were playing in high school already, so I used to watch them play a lot in Kampala, the school's week, and they would travel, the coach would come pick them from home and they would travel, come play, and then they go back home and they're telling stories about, you know, the games, people they've met, so they inspired me to start playing. I also wanted to be that girl who comes in, you know, who leaves my hometown to come and play, yes.
And let us go to the business end of it, because I've been asking several people who were in Namibia what happened. I want to know your take. What happened? Why did we get battered the way we did?
I don't take it as being battered, because there are a lot of positive.
6 losses in 6?
What is that?
How would you describe it?
Yeah, so I think we're experiencing a lot of, like, a big change in our team. We had lost a lot of players, and and new coaching staff, indeed, a lot of players coming into the team. We had like about 6 debutants, and then we had Rita Nyangendo coming back on the team after, like, I don't know, maybe 7 or 10 years or so. So that was like a very, very big change for us, and we hadn't had enough time to prepare for that tournament. And going into this tournament, we're getting to know each other's strength. You know, we're just coming back from, I don't know, 6 or how many months of not playing. So it was a tough time for us, but I think it was just mainly because of that. But we took a lot of positives from that tournament, because as much as we're battered, we learned a lot of things. We were able to take the positive. So that was
I think the loss in Namibia made sure that your ranking dropped to 21st in the world. Then here comes the 2-2 Nepal, 21st in the world. You're going to be playing against a country that is, I think, ranked 16th in the world. Everyone had their reservations, but for some reason you girls go in there and everything is pretty much easy. You win the first 3 games before losing the other 2, but of course win the series 3-2. You yourself are voted a player of the tournament. The experience in Namibia, first of all, one would ask, how come it was so easy for you girls?
So it's as simple as taking feedback from you know, people who watch the games, the coaches, the teams, and a lot of the girls, Kevin, Evie, Rita, because Rita Musamali had a hard time in Namibia. She was struggling to score runs, but when she went to Namibia, I think she was able to take some sort of feedback that was given from everyone else here. You know, like we struggled a lot with our batting, and every time we went into bat, even to score 60 runs, we're crumbling. Like it looked like we didn't know what we're doing, or we just had no proper, you know, even whether it was shot selection or patience or so. So we just got back here and tried to improve on the small things that we're not doing well. Like, say, I am not good at the sweep shot, and I need to play the sweep shot. I need variety of shots. So what am I going to do when I come back home? I improve on that and, you know, try and, you know, score more runs. But you can only score runs if you're able to, you know, if you know how to score off of a bowler, and that would require you to do practice, take the feedback, because a lot of people who watch actually know. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing. As a player, you think you know everything, but when you hear a lot of feedback
the
from people,
opinion
it
from the
helps.
people who have been watching.
Yeah.
So as a player, yes, we know the adjustments that the technical team made with the entire team. But you being the reigning cricketer of the year and coming back to Uganda after the show that you put up in Namibia, how did you better yourself? What challenges did you give yourself? Because everyone was looking at you as the face of the team.
I personally tried to improve a lot on my batting, like going into the nets and say, okay, I cannot play the reverse sweep, and it could be a better way for me to score runs. That's what I did, because I can drive the ball, but I'm not going to spend a lot of my time maybe driving the ball. Sometimes the bowler might give me the same length to drive the ball, so I had to figure out a way to get to learn how to be aggressive, jumping out of the wicket, being able to just like play around with the bowlers here and there, just so I'm able to score runs for the team, but not always being limited to just the few shots that I have. And usually you just get locked up if you don't have variety. And yeah, so I just try to improve on my shots, and yeah, I think it paid off.
Then also, you've just returned from Rwanda. Personally, I was shocked to see you yesterday around. Of course, Uganda played in the Quivuka tournament. We finished third, but you're one of the players who stayed behind to play in the elite tournament.
Yeah.
Before we know it, you're voted as the best bat of the tournament, best ball of the tournament, but also the MVP. I mean, how special is that for you? Rarely do people go into tournaments and they literally sweep every accolade that is there to be swept.
It was amazing. I won't lie. It felt good being able to be voted MVP or to be selected MVP. It meant a lot to me. At least I was able to leave some sort of impact back in Rwanda, and for me, I saw it as being leading, because I am one of the guest players that stayed back, and being able to win these accolades, I think that a lot of the young players back there are able to to see my achievement and aspire to be more like me, or even try and work hard to make sure that come the next elite league, they're working hard to make sure they also get the job. Yeah.
How special was the experience? Because I remember you hinted to us on Flag Off that you were going to be playing at this stage for the first time.
It was amazing. The games were live streamed, which I thought was amazing. It was unique. We don't have league games being live streamed, so it was just a very nice experience being able to be mixed up with a few guest players, some of the best under 19 or national team players in Rwanda, and it was. At first, it was a challenge because there's a language barrier aspect, and I don't know if you watch. I do not speak the language, sadly. Yeah, I was born and raised here. My dad didn't teach me, and my mom is from the East. Yeah, so if you watch the game, you saw that most of the teams had lots of runouts. We having a hard time, communicating. But I just love the fact that after a few days, because you all speak the same language, which is cricket, you all play, like after 1 or 2 days, you're able to click, and everyone else, is giving their best, they're being supportive. So it was a very wonderful experience for me. Yeah.
Okay, I will take you back to all the three series you have had in the last couple of years, months, including the tournament, the Kwebuka tournament, and you have been paired with different individuals.
Yeah.
Who are you most comfortable with when it comes to the national team? Who is that one person that you are paired with, and you are going to probably put up some decent numbers for the rest to follow?
I would like to say everyone, but if you were to put a gun on my head and ask me to choose, I think it would be Kevin.
Why Kevin?
I spend a lot of time with her.
Oh.
We spent on the field.
Oh, no, I understand.
Or I would say even outside of the field. So I spend quite a lot of time with her. When you see, even during workouts, I'm always working out with her, and we're helping each other a lot. And we play on the same club, so that's also another advantage.
So literally, you have developed some chemistry of sorts that you put onto the wicket, and then everything moves on smoothly.
Yeah. So.
Lastly, as we get out of here, because I'm told that time is fast spent, as a young upcoming cricket player, a lady at that, how do you manage to handle all this pressure and attention that comes in? Because the more you do good, the more the attention and spotlight is on you.
It's simple. I don't know how to. I don't know how to. I'm actually surprised I'm handling it. But
really?
If you ask me what I'm trying to do, I honestly don't.
So are you this sort of person who checks social media and see what they're talking about, your performances and stuff like that?
It's difficult to stay out of social media, but I would say I have been able to manage everything around social media. Twitter is scary for me, even though there are a lot of good things that have been said. I don't know, I just find it scary. But yeah, I once in a while check social media. So, yeah.
Well, that's all the time we had for you today on the show. It has been Janet Mbabazi joining us as one of the guests. She's a member of the Victoria Powers. Earlier on, we had the head coach of the Cricket Cranes, Lawrence Mahalani, sharing with us his views and ambitions moving forward. Of course, the Manzindia Mahachi was earlier on here with us. Shaban has also been part of the set. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who has been part of this. I see Jose, I see Ronnie, I see Robert, the people back in studio, Gerard, Lovey, Dennis, Adrian, and everyone who has made sure that this show is a success. Have a blessed day. We shall be back tomorrow, 1 to 2 p.m. discussing what we love doing most, and that is sports.